Tottenham Hotspur could be about to raid the free transfer market. Now, this isn't a dig at Daniel Levy and those that say he doesn't spend money at Tottenham Hotspur, because as much as I'm not a fan of Daniel Levy, I do acknowledge that the man spends money. It's not the problem of spending money, it's what the money is spent on, and it's the wages, etc., etc. Instead, this is me looking at this with common sense. If Tottenham do not win that Europa League, if there's a chance, but if they do not win that Europa League, it means that the money is going to be significantly less. Now, we already saw last year when we had European football, we already saw that we trimmed the wage bill. Wasn't it something like £30 million, £32 million, something ridiculous? We trimmed the wage bill. So if we don't qualify for Europe again and get that revenue, what's to say we don't do that again? Now, with that in mind, there's been a lot of talk in the last few weeks as the season's dwindling down, as we're moving towards yet another transfer window. We all love the transfer windows. Some of the players that Tottenham Hotspur are potentially looking at. Now, 3 or 4 different sources have named these players. A couple of them, we see these players named over and over again. And some of them make sense, some of them don't. So I'm going to look at 4 players today. And the first player we are going to look at is a guy that has been heavily linked with Tottenham for many, many months. I believe that there were reports saying that we tried to get him in the January window, but we wanted to wait until he was a free transfer. And that is this guy. That is Angel Gomes, who currently plies his trade, for Lyon. Okay, so this is Angel Gomes. For Lille. What am I talking about? Lyon. Now, if we actually look at Gomes here, he's a very interesting player. Okay, we're looking at him. He's 24 years of age. He's British, as we know. He's had caps for the England national team. He's had 4 senior caps. He was one of those ones, as you can see here, when he was younger, lots of the FIFA Under-17 World Cup, UEFA Under-21 championships. He was widely regarded as one of the best stars coming out of the Manchester United academy, but then didn't quite make it there and ended up at Lille. Now, I want to have a look here because I'm not going to go through all of this, but what sort of a player is he? Now, listen, for me, when I've seen him, I think that he looks really good, really technical, looks good on the ball, quite slight. So there'll probably be a lot of question marks from people there about his physicality. However, there's been players throughout the years that are quite small that have done really well. And I'm not putting him on this level, but you look at Bernardo Silva and David Silva, Xavi's, the Iniestas, smaller footballers. I'm not saying he's as good as them, by the way, just in terms of build. And he's very technical. And they talk here about he was almost a forward and now deployed as an attacking midfielder stroke central midfielder, somebody that likes to dictate the game, somebody that likes to get on the ball more as a deep lying midfielder. And I think you can see that reflected when we look down here at his career statistics. You can see here that he's played 178 senior games as a professional, only got the 16 goals. So this tells you that this is not a guy that is going to come in and be your goal scoring midfielder. His most goals from midfield in a season were on loan at Boa Vista in Portugal, and that was back in 2020, 2021. So since then, he's only got 4 league goals in his entire career for Lille in Ligue 1. So if you look there, that's quite a lot of games for Lille, only 4 league goals. So what we're looking at there is we're not looking at a player that's going to come in. He's not going to solve all of your problems as a goal-scoring midfielder. But what he will do, he's somebody that will keep the game ticking over, and he is English, and he is a free transfer. So let me know what you think about Angel Gomes. Now, for me, I'm just going to put this out there right now. I don't mind Angel Gomes. I think he's a good player. I don't know if he's what we need in this system. Is he the guy that's going to run around like a headless chicken, which is what Ange Postecoglou seems to want? He wants runners. He wants people that are just up and back, up and back. And having watched Angel Gomes, I don't think he's that type of player. but we don't know and might not be here next year. Managers move on, things happen. Different managers want different formations with different players, different skill sets. So let me know in the chat right now, Angel Gomes, what are we saying to Angel Gomes? Let me know. The next player that we're going to bring in is another guy that has been linked with Tottenham Hotspur time and time and time again, and that is Jonathan David. This is Jonathan David, another player who plays for Lille. So at the moment, we've got two players there that play for Lille in Liga, the Canadian striker. So what do we know about Jonathan David? Well, we know that he's 25, so he's now a seasoned pro. He's now got a lot of experience playing in Liga and for the Canadian national team. We know he's not the biggest, only 5'10", but we do know that he's very good through on goal. He's actually quite quick. He can get in behind, and he'll offer a bit of a different threat to what a Dominic Solanke will. Now, for me, I've always said I don't think Dominic Solanke's a natural goal scorer, and I think you can see that evidenced by the lack of goals throughout his career. But he has other strengths. He has the ability to run the channels, does Solanke. He works hard. He'll try and bring others into the game. But let's have a look. How good is Jonathan David? What's Jonathan David's goal record like? Now, it's always difficult when you look at players because they're coming from another league. People will say, well, that's a farmers league. I don't like all that, but people will say, well, it's the French league. It's not as good as the Premier League. Can he replicate what he's done there over here? But what he has got is a very impressive goal record. If we look at his time here, even his time at Ghent in the Belgian Pro League when he was younger, and he managed to get 37 in 83, which for a younger striker isn't bad. And you're looking at 23 goals in 40 games in his last season for Ghent. Since then, he's slowly got better and better and better, hasn't he? 13 in his first year for Lille, then 19, then 26, 26 again, currently on 23 with still more games of the season to go. So you can see here that he's just under a 1 in 2 guy in his career. 307 games, 145 goals. So he's just under a 1 in 2 guy. Now, I think for me, do I look at Jonathan David? And then, by the way, 32 in 61 as well for the national team is a very good goal return. Now, I look at Jonathan David, and I want to know what you guys and girls think. I look at Jonathan David and say, good forward, definitely like him as one of my strikers. Is he the main man? I don't know. Is he the main guy that elevates you? I'm not sure. What I would like is I'd love the option between him and a Solanke. I'd love something different, maybe a formation in which they play together. So another one heavily bandied about for Tottenham Hotspur is Jonathan David. Let me know what you guys and girls think. I think it's an interesting option, same as Angel Gomes, a really interesting option. Now, let's have a look at this player. Now, this is one I don't think is likely. I'll put that right out there from the get-go. I do not think this is likely, but the next one is Leroy Sane, currently playing for Bayern Munich, 29 years of age, so I'm not sure that his age fits the profile. However, if you were going to get him for 2 to 3 years, he's better than any winger that we've got at the football club. Let's be brutally honest about that. So, is Leroy Sane that guy? Would Leroy Sane come to Tottenham? Will he have better options? What's his salary going to be? All of these different questions that you have to ask. But what do we know about him from looking at his career? Schalke, then the big money move to Manchester City, then Bayern Munich, where he's been for the last 5 years, and 69 caps for Germany. So what's he achieved in his career? Because what you're getting with Leroy Sane is a serial winner. If we'll come back to his stats in a minute, but Leroy Sane, as we said, 14 goals in 69 games for Germany from out wide. It's not too shabby. It's not the greatest, but it's not too bad. Then, if we have a look, he's won the Premier League twice, the FA Cup. He's won the League Cup 3 times, 2 Community Shields, 3 Bundesliga, 2 Super Cups, 1 UEFA Super Cup, 1 FIFA World Club Cup. He was the PFA Young Player of the Year when he was at City. He was the UEFA Champions League Team of the Season for 21-22. And then when we look at him, what's his goal record like as a wide player? Well, he's a 1 in 4 guy. You can see that 109 goals in 402 appearances. It's not too shabby. But I think what this guy does do, what Leroy Sane would give you that's different, is that direct, raw running, that ability to beat a man, that ability to drive into the box at all occasions. He also likes to cut in from whichever side and get the ball onto his other foot. So for me, I'd love to see a Leroy Sane in a Spurs shirt. Do I think that one will happen? I don't. Does it make sense on a free? Well, if you can get him on a free, but I'm guessing his wages are going to be astronomical. And that might be what stops Tottenham Hotspur looking at that, because this is where I do have a dig at Daniel Levy, and this is where the problem's been. It's the wages. Now, the last player I want to look at is this guy. Okay, this is an ex-Spurs player. He is constantly linked with Tottenham Hotspur, and that is Kyle Walker-Peters. Now, again, what does Kyle Walker-Peters do? The positives. He is English. Why is that a positive? The homegrown rule, the home club trained rule. Kyle Walker-Peters fits that bill. He's experienced. If we look at him now. He's 27 years of age. Feels like he's still that kid that we let go. He has played a number of seasons now. He's played for England, 2 caps for England, played for the under-21s, the under-20s, under-19s, under-18s. And if we actually have a look here, since he came through at Tottenham, he played 24 games in a Spurs shirt before we let him go, and he's played 186 times for Southampton. So 220 games in his career. And what he does do, he's versatile. He can play at right back or at left back. Now, is he the quality needed? That's my question with this guy. I think he's okay. I think he'll do a job. I think he fits the bill, as I said, with the nationality, free transfer. I can't believe his wages will be astronomical. Does he fit the quality quota? And I always talk on my channel about the Q word, quality, quality. Has he got that? Would he just be another squad filler? Is this just another player that comes in and we go, well, it doesn't take you from there to there? So my question to all of you is this. Angel Gomes, yes or no? Is he the quality level? Jonathan David, yes or no? Is he the quality level? Leroy Sane, I'm not going to ask you if he's the quality level. He is, surely. Surely anyone out there isn't looking at our wingers and going, he doesn't get in our team. Does he fit the profile, though? With his age, with his salary, does he fit the profile? Let me know what you guys think. And then Kyle Walker-Peters, ex-Spurs player, fits the profile in many ways, but does he have the quality level? Now, of course, Spurs might get Europe. We might win the Europa League, and there's a chance. There's a chance, of course there is. If you're in it, you can win it. But if we don't get it, we will not have that revenue to spend. So, guys and girls, let me know what you think. Will any of those 4 sign for Spurs? Are they good targets? Is this just transfer talk? Don't forget, some of them have been heavily linked with Spurs before. Take care. And as always, come on, you Spurs.